Hello, everyone, and welcome to Convos, brought to you by Brooklyn Quarter and Black Magic Design, League of Filmmakers. I'm Timothy Reese. Today we have Dana Powell. She is best known as Cameron Tucker, Cam's sister on ABC's Modern Family. She trained in improv and sketch at the Groundlings, where she was also a member of Sunday Company, as well as IO West and UCB. Her film and TV credits include Bridesmaids, Veep, Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Office, The Good Place, and Pixar's Cars universe, where she voices Motto, Mater's sister. Upcoming, you can catch her in Danielle Beckman's Dr. Sam. Welcome to the show, Dana.
Thank you. Thank you, Timothy. It's wonderful to be here.
I am so personally excited to have you here because
Thank you.
your life is fascinating.
It is.
But before we get into that, I
Okay.
want to just know, how is because this is your first Comic-Con.
This is my second.
Oh, your second, okay.
Yes. So when I first moved to Los Angeles very early on, before it was kind of like the big celebrity and much more, it was a little smaller, but still exciting.
Yeah.
I didn't get to do a lot. We were just kind of like, and drove down for the day. But this has been magical. Like
That's great.
getting to sit in it for more than a day. Chef's kiss.
There's a certain aspect to Comic-Con which I feel like a lot of people don't realize, which is that it requires like an inordinate amount of homework
Yeah.
to just even know where to go and what to do. Like
Yes.
there's somehow a line or a ticket or an RSVP
For all the stuff.
for everything.
Yeah, and I heard that people line up for days.
Days.
So when I came my first time, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and when I came my first time, we were walking down a hallway, and I heard Stan Lee's voice. And I walked in like a zombie because I was just walking up to the podium. I was like, and all of a sudden my husband, Dan Tipton, grabbed me. He's like, you cannot walk down this aisle. Just like Stan Lee.
He probably would have allowed you on stage.
He
to be
might
honest.
have. He might have, but that blew my mind.
Yeah, that's amazing. Before we get into your current career, I want to go back to something that you and I share, which we have not chatted about.
Yes.
Which is that we both started in news.
Yes.
Yes. Can you tell me about your journey in news before you got into entertainment?
Absolutely. So when I started in news, I was just out of college. I come from Springfield, Missouri, so Hollywood wasn't, it was Brad Pitt. That was it, right?
Yeah.
And so everyone told me it was a dream to move to Los Angeles. I got a job in the news, and I was doing tapes and also editing The World in 60 Seconds.
Okay.
Things like that. I didn't go out on packages. They kept telling me I was going to be a producer, but then just kept making me roll tapes. And I got to the point where I was losing my creativity. And so I started editing things a little creative, which I got in trouble for.
Right.
I put a severed hand on the air.
Was it before the breakfast cutoff, right? Was it a morning show or was it a later show?
It was a late show.
Okay.
It was like prime 10 o'clock.
Okay. Because a lot of folks don't realize there's like a watershed
Yes.
with especially with newspapers,
Yes.
right? Where they just don't show things in the morning edition
Right.
that people are going to read at breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I showed it at the 10 o'clock prime.
I mean,
I got called in an office.
Okay.
And actually, they were so encouraging to me. They said, you know what, Dana, we think you need something different. We think you do need creativity, and we encourage you to go pursue that. They didn't fire me ever.
Okay.
And some of them have kept up with me,
Okay.
which is really cool.
that would
But
be a remarkable dismissal.
yes,
Yeah.
it wasn't for me. How about you? You had
Yeah, no, I started off at a wire service in New York, and I had zero experience. It was a business wire, and I was just suddenly like plunked right in the middle of like international news with finance, trying to keep track of stats and like numbers flying across the screen, and I had no concept of what I was doing.
Yeah, I was not
None.
meant for that world.
And especially because it never stops.
Never stops. And they always want horrible, because that's good for news. Like I remember a reporter in our room saying, there hasn't been a murder here in 3 years. And I was like, God, I hope there isn't, but that world is different.
Start to see the world differently. It's good to stop before it's permanent.
Before it eats you.
Yeah, for the damage. Yeah. So you moved out to LA, and suddenly is that when you started doing improv, or did you go right into doing like auditioning and going out for stuff? Like, how
No.
did you navigate getting into LA?
Yes. So when I came here, I didn't have any connections. I didn't
Right.
really know anybody. So I just signed up for classes. And the first place I signed up was Improv Olympic West, IO
Amazing.
West. And that's where I built like my community, where I built my confidence. I'm still friends with many of those people
That's
today. And it built my LA base, I would say, my LA base for a family. And as I was doing that, I was simultaneously taking classes at the Groundlings. It's notoriously, there's a lot of backup. A lot of people like to go there. So it was about a 7.5-year journey for me.
Wow.
But I was already performing and had
Wow.
confidence and was like ready to go when the time came.
That's like a doctorate.
Yeah.
A doctorate of funny. Yeah.
I should have went to law school.
Well, that would be less funny though.
It would.
Right?
It would. Yeah.
Could you imagine getting done with law school and they're like, you should go to improv? You're like, I've been through this.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like, you cracked too many jokes.
So then you, doing improv, transitioning into screen.
Yes.
I have a question for you that I've been wanting to ask you since I met you.
Oh.
Right? Because your brain works. I've been on set with you and I've seen you take a funny script and do a funny line. And then I've also seen you improv a line. And there's no boundary between them. They both look like they're written. It's fully acted. It's really miraculous to watch.
you.
Yeah. So my question is, as a comedian, do you prefer to get a funny script that you will then riff off of? Or do you prefer to get a dry script that has a lot of runway, that doesn't have a joke? Like,
Right.
what excites you more whenever you look at something on the page?
I would say, obviously, you love a funny script because for me, when I'm looking at something, I'm like, what the writer wants is here.
Yeah.
And how can I give them just a little bit more than they wrote? Because
Okay.
generally, that's what a writer wants. They want their actor to bring it to life without changing the meaning of the lines or the scene.
Right.
So it is really exciting for me. You know, on Dr. Sam, I was able to improvise a little bit at the end of some scenes,
Yeah.
and that brings me so much joy. And also sharing that. That's what I love about improv, is sharing it with an audience and
Yeah.
your people you're working with. So I would say I love, obviously, anybody wants a great script,
Yeah.
but not to sound arrogant, but I can work with anything.
Yeah. It was also funny watching you break everyone
That's
on
fun.
set, right? Especially because it was like a more of an enclosed room. We're all in the same space, and so people were just having to leave, which is also funny. Like, as
I love that.
yeah, just getting tossed off of set. But yeah, so now transitioning from, so you were doing improv, going into screen.
Yeah.
What was that process like, especially because you have such a seminal body of work across
Thank you.
so many comedic institutions in TV shows.
Yeah.
Like everything from, and it's also funny that before I met you, I had seen you in so many shows.
Really?
Yeah, to the
Oh,
point where
funny.
and then especially after we were on set for Dr. Sam, I was rewatching through Arrested Development, and then you just
Oh,
popped
I
up.
popped up.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just popped up, and I was texting you, and I was like, I saw you. And then
I
we get
love
on the
that.
airplane, and there's someone watching Bridesmaids, and I'm like,
could not believe that.
It's just you're everywhere now in my entertainment cycle.
I love it.
So what was that like for you, sort of like breaking into it and then navigating it? Because for a lot of people, they think that it's a thing where suddenly it's like, well, I'm just on TV now.
Oh,
and
gosh,
it's
yeah.
so simple. It's so easy. You just
Yeah.
keep showing up to set. And
Yeah, I love it when people are like, I've been thinking I might be a pretty good actor. I'm like, you have no idea everything that goes into it.
Yeah.
For me, the transition was learning. I always say that an audition is a completely different ballgame than being on set.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that I learned from my mentor, Eric Stone Street.
Yeah.
I always say he's the meanest big brother I never asked for. We have such a little going on, but he taught me a lot of that. And then honestly, on set, you best be ready to learn on the fly.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to get thrown at you. I feel like people would look at me physically and not realize how many stunts I do. Like, it's crazy. I've thrown children into kitchens. I've set things on
set.
fire. Yes, set things on fire. I've
On
been
set.
attacked.
Sorry, just to clarify.
Yes, thank you. I've been attacked by a police dog and taken to the ground.
Oh my God.
Like, I've done crazy. I was in a helicopter. We only got to go up and down, but
Yeah.
I was in a helicopter with Toni Collette. Like, I feel like my life is crazy, but that transition from live stage performance performance to screen performance, it is a bit of an adjustment.
Yeah.
You know, smaller gestures, smaller facial movements, not being able to necessarily go off and riff.
Sure.
There are some shows you're on that they're like, I want that script. I want word for word, and the scripty will come up and fix it.
Were you actually wrestling Eric on set of Honor Family?
Yeah.
That is so much better now.
I hurt him.
Oh, did you?
He kept saying, please don't press on my chest. So there was some real
That's great.
Also, in real life, he's the one that kind of needles at me. But the way that our characters are on the show, I get to beat him up and go after him. I chase him like a child.
Yeah. Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Now, also, I have heard your podcast.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable. Can you walk us through your journey of starting up your podcast? It started in 2019, right?
Yes, but I had a podcast before that.
Right.
So a lot of my audience kind of followed over, you know.
That's great.
So I started off with Absolute Worst podcast.
Okay. Perfect name.
And yes, it was so fun. And then recently, we actually just ended this year.
Yeah.
But it was called the Rants and Raves podcast.
Right.
People would write in things they wanted us to rant out for them. You know, like when something annoys you and you turn to someone and you're like, can you believe this? And often they'll just go, well, you could have written into us. And we would be like, that's not cool.
And you just go off on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the back half of the show was raves about smaller charity organizations that don't have a lot of support behind them.
Right.
Good news stories, things like that, so that we wrapped everything up with there's still great stuff in this world.
That's so much fun. I was listening to the episode you shared a clip of on Instagram of you imitating a historian describing like torture implements.
Because we both love medieval.
We both love medieval, and it's just a remarkable clip. I think
it got a little real. It was real. Like that was real knowledge, right?
Yeah, that was real. And it was especially because, so you're describing a torture instrument called, was it Judas's Pyramid?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the best part is that the other host begins to break as you're describing it with such detail and clarity.
Because she's like, oh my God, Dana is the weirdo we all think she is.
She's like, and I'm suddenly deeply uncomfortable by the person sitting across from me. Yeah.
She knows many ways to kill me in a medieval way.
Yeah. It's absolutely remarkable. I have a question for you. What are you excited about upcoming next?
Well, obviously Dr. Sam.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see that come out. That piece is so special. And the cast is incredible. I'm also doing a show at the Dynasty Typewriter on August 13th.
Amazing. Okay.
It is incredible. It's by Michael Asiello. When he was 13 years old, he wrote like 575 episodes of a soap opera. He gets us actors to come together and cold read the scripts. And he's assigned us characters, and some people have props under their thing. And so we're holding the scripts, and he allows us, goes back to what you were saying, he allows us to do anything with the words.
Okay.
So like, for example, I was a maid in one, and Jim Rash, Edie Patterson, all kinds of, Caitlin Riley, they were the rich people and I was the maid, and I was loading the cart, and it wasn't in the script, but all of them kept pointing for me to load different huge things into this imaginary car. Like, it gets crazy, and it's the funniest thing I've seen in ages.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So Dynasty Typewriter.
August 13th.
August 13th.
It may be sold out, but you can watch it live stream, and they have an amazing 4-camera setup. Like, it's awesome.
That's amazing. Dana, is there a place that you'd like people to find you online if they want to reach out?
Yeah,
say hello.
You can find me at I am Dana Powell on Instagram, because I am. Yeah. And also, I just want to say thank you for letting me do this. I'm such a huge fan of Comic-Con and the people here and all the things to see. It's the most creative, happy place in the world, I think.
It is.
It really is, because people get to come here as adults or children, authentically be themselves and celebrate who they are. I love it.
Their people.
Yes.
You know, they're wearing the characters on the shirts.
I've already made 5 friends since I got here that I did not know before I got to this place.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dana.
Thank you
for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Bye, everybody.